Okay, so good morning and good evening, everybody, and welcome back in today's class. Today we are going to be pick up another advanced topic, which is really interesting from the understanding perspective, but it is tough to implementation perspective. Even ServiceNow also not much recommend for this approach, but if it is a need, then definitely we do this part. So let me start a example here. Let's say we are the 9 people in this call now. We all are staying in a nearby neighborhood. Maybe after one junction, I am staying. Then after one junction, Ema is staying. Then after one junction, Dipsy is staying. Then Saba, then Gloria, then Olu, then MJ, Priya, and Akanksha. Okay. I said, guys, let's have a party on this Saturday. Everybody agree. Party time, evening 7 o'clock. Venue, I put it. Okay. Now in the evening, 6 o'clock, everybody getting ready. Saba is getting ready, Ima, Dipsy, Priya, Kanksha, Gloria, everybody's getting ready now. Everybody know that to reach to the venue, they required a cab. They cannot, or they don't want to drive it because some other reasons, but they say, or everybody think, no, I'll go via cab so that in the return time, I should not be liability to drive the car. Okay. Now, if Priya says that I will go by cab, she need to pay $100 or maybe let's say $20. That's fine. Akanksha want to go via cab, she need to pay the $20. Gloria, same, want to go and she need to pay the $20. Now, if everybody is paying the $20 specifically, it will be like overhead for everybody. 20 for one side, 20 for one side, $40 to and fro. Okay. Now, if I say, guys, I am also coming and let book a cab and let's share that cab. The main benefit of sharing the cab, what is the main benefit? Can anybody tell me? Sorry, who is speaking very low? I guess Akanksha, you are speaking, yeah?
Sorry, sir.
No,
Just
go ahead. What is the benefit of doing the cab sharing? Tell me, if you want to go with the family for a trip, instead of everybody go or take individual cab, you say, okay, let's share the cab. What is the major benefit?
To save money.
To save money, definitely, yes. So it means if $40 is to and fro, now it will work in the $20, right? As a
Yes.
customer, you are able to save your money. Agree? But if I think from the cab perspective, he need to be collect the money from individual. Okay, ma'am, $10, $10, $10, $10. Okay. Now this concept we are going to be used in our service now as well. I'm a small company, not very big business. I'm a small company, but yes, I have a business. Okay. Now I want to use service now. I reach out to Saba, Gloria and Priya's company. They are in a partnership. I say, guys, I want to be your service now. Saba says, no problem, Atul, we can onboard you in the service now. Priya says, we will charge $150 per ITL user license. Gloria says, it is easy. No problem, we can onboard you. I said $150 per person for ITL. I have it. Let's say I have 50. It's too much for me. Sorry, guys, it's too costly. I cannot take it. I go to the MJ, Olu and Dipsy company now. They say, Atul, we will charge $140 per person. I said, no, guys, it's too much costly. I cannot take it. Then at the last, I go to Akanksha's and Ema's company. They says, Atul, we will charge only $30 per person for ITL. But they put the but as well. They says we will charge $30 per person, but the only thing is that it will be a common instance. I said, what do you mean by the common instance? They says that I have few of my customer already onboarded on that instance, and I will onboard you as well. You have to pay only for your license, but it will be shared instance. Do you have any problem? I said, no problem. I can take it. I'm saving $120 per person. Let me go for the shared one. And I done my deal with the EMA and Akanksha company, and we are onboarded. Now, after hearing this concept, if I speak in the technical language, what I say in my examples is that this concept which EMA and Akanksha told me, Atul, it is a shared instance. We call in ServiceNow it as a domain separation instance. Domain separation instance. What this mean, or what in short, what is the meaning of this? If anybody of you stayed in the shared house, or in India there is a concept work paying guest, PG. It means 4 boy, 4 girl, or 2 couples staying in a house and they're sharing each and everything and paying only individual portion, not the complete rent. This is what the concept called the domain separation. The benefit of domain separation is that in the domain separation, being a customer, you need to pay the less amount, but you have to follow the standard. You have to follow the standard. Now, the next question comes. Let's say Ima, Dipsy, MJ, and Ugo. These 4 ladies are in the 4 different cities of the US. They move to some place, let's say Texas, for the study. Ima is doing bachelor in English. Dipsy is doing bachelor in literature. MJ is doing bachelor in mathematics, and Ugo is doing bachelor in social science. These 4 ladies are new in that city. They're looking for some house. And one by one, they approach to one owner and say, yes, I have 1 room available. I have 4 rooms available in my house and you guys can share it. Ima says, okay, I'm okay. How much? $200 per month, including all bills. Ima is agree. Dipsy, same owners charge the same amount, 200 per month, MJ and Ugo. But now the problem is that because see, you are paying less amount. When you're paying the less amount, you have to follow some restrictions. And restrictions are, guys, there will be only one entry gate. There's a one living room. There's a one TV in the living room. You have to be come to room or house before 10 o'clock in the evening. These are the few constraints. You said that's fine. See, I'm only doing bachelor. I'm not earning anything. Let me do that part. In ServiceNow, what they say is that you have to follow the standard process, or I can say the top level process. Like in this particular training, I'm the owner and you are my tenants. I say, guys, tomorrow is holiday. Everybody say, okay. I say, guys, tomorrow we are working. Everybody say, yes, we are working. Guys, do this homework. Everybody say, yes, we will do this homework. You have to follow my process. But if I'm not a trainer, maybe you are learning by self. Then Dipsy say, okay, I will learn today. I'll not learn tomorrow. I have a party for the 5 days. I'll learn after 6 days. Priya says, okay, I'm free. I can do the homework, or I can do the self study twice in a day. Morning 2 hours, evening 2 hours. That is the individual part. So till the time in the last 36 days, 35, 37 days, what we learn is about the single instance. Now we are going to be discuss about the domain separation, tenant instance. In a single instance, I have a multiple customer to be on board. So now I will onboard Ima, I will onboard Dipsy, I will onboard Ugo as a company. Okay. Till this point, everybody clear the concept. The basic fundamentals clear or not?
Yes.
Good. Let me give a call again. Why these two guys are not there? Khushbu and Kumar. Okay. Now the question come. What about ServiceNow? ServiceNow says, let's say I am a service provider. Okay. And I have a ServiceNow instance with me. And I'm selling that ServiceNow instance to my customers. ServiceNow has a 5 questions. And they says that if this 5 question has been answered as a yes, only then you should go for the domain separation. Otherwise, no. If you satisfy these 5 questions and answer is yes in all the 5 questions, then you should activate the domain separation, and domain separation activated via plugin. Yesterday I installed that plugin, or I not install, I activated that plugin in my personal instance. Now let's see what that 5 questions. Okay, this is one of my favorites place in separation. This is a wonderful link. I can say if you want to learn, you can learn from here. Domain hierarchy, domain separation objective. Here, yes. See, this is what domain separation. It is a single instance and however 3 tenant. So if you get confused in the domain separation, remember 1 landlord and 4 persons sharing that house. This is a concept of the domain separation, and we call this as a MSP, managed service provider. Being a customer, it is good for me, I am paying less. But being a service provider, it is very overhead for me. The reasons I will tell you. Okay, so this is a fundamental that how the domain separation look like, or what is the purpose of the domain separation. Let me give you this link. I teach this topic from this link only, always. Okay. Now let's come here. Now I told you that what are the parameters as a service provider I have to be satisfied, only then ServiceNow allow me or encourage me to go for the domain separation. So before that, there's a benefit has been given by ServiceNow. As a service provider, volume licensing. If I put it my house on a rent to the bachelor, then I will get 4 people rent. It's a centralized administration, data segregation. For the tenant, lower minimum license threshold. I'm getting the pre-built processes. Like if I'm a student, I'm looking for a place to stay, and if I go for a or I get a room which is already built up completely, have one wardrobe, one bed, one study table, chair, then I will be happy for the same because I'm getting the pre-built. I did not need to purchase, or I don't need to be purchase anything new in the market, and I can use it immediately. Okay. Now, if I go to the next part, these are the 5 questions need to be answered. If any of the question has an answer no, then don't activate domain separation. These are the standard questions which ServiceNow put up. And when I as a service provider go to ServiceNow that I want to go on the domain separation instance, then ServiceNow asks me these 5 questions. If answer is yes, only then they allowed go for the domain separation. If any of the answer is no, they will not allow. They say no, go for the single instance. Single means one customer, one instance, one house, complete house for one person. That is single instance. So now let's discuss about these 5 points. Logical data separation. Can the customer use logical data separation instead of physical data separation? What this mean? Let's say Dipsy, Ima, Gloria, and Ugo are staying in a shared house. Dipsy has some devices like, let's say, laptop, or maybe a costly mobile phone, or maybe some other equipment. Okay. If she put that particular devices outside her room, maybe in the living room, maybe in the common area kind of place, is she okay if I keep her data, which is logically separated? People can see in the house, people can see, but nobody can touch it. Means this is, if I say, maybe I'm putting the wrong example, but it says that logically your data is separated, but physically it is storing in a same data space. It means Ima, Dipsy, MJ, and Ugo, their actual data is in the same database, but logically, by purpose of seeing the data, utilizing the data, is separated. I cannot see if I'm staying in a common or shared house, my main intention is that what I'm doing in my room, nobody should be able to see it until unless I give them access. Maybe I came from my hometown and my mom gave me a lot of sweets and I keep it in my room. I don't want anybody can see this what I bring from the home. This is what the logical data separation. Then scale. Is the customer small enough not to require multiple nodes or the dedicated hardware? Remember that lecture, remember the topic of the ServiceNow architecture. In this, they are saying that if customer is not that much enough or that much rich, or maybe not don't want to spend more money, are they okay to run their instance in a single node or a shared hardware? Like in a living room, I have only one socket. Are you four girls okay to use one socket in the living room? If you need to be charge your laptop or mobile phone, if you say yes, then good. Then the platform requirement. Can the customer work with the product and service provided on the shared platform? I'm as an owner and I'm saying, guys, if you want to stay here, you have to be shared the kitchen. You have to be shared the utensils. You have to be shared the TV. You have to be shared the dining table. You have to be shared the sofa. Are you okay to share that part? If yes, then okay. Domain separation we can define. Process difference. It says because if I build any process on the top level, then everybody need to follow that process. Maybe I say you have to be come back to house by 10 o'clock in the evening. But MJ says, Atul, sorry, my shift start in the my classes start in the evening 5 o'clock and it end by 12 o'clock in the midnight. In this case, only 5% changes are expected or accepted, I can say, not more than that. The rest you're okay. Ha, so rest I'm okay. Bill, shared amenities, I'm okay with the same, no problem. If answer is yes, then go to the next part. Then admin part. What does admin say? Does the instance honor administrator the instance with the customer only managing limited configuration? Means as a admin, as a landlord of the flat, I'm happy to manage only limited configuration. Like someone says, Atul, can you, or maybe to the landlord, can you put one wall clock in my house, in my room? Or can you do some kind of a drilling in my room? I want to put something on hanging part. If I can manage that part, answer is yes, then we can go for the domain separation. This is the concept. If answer is 5 yes, then domain separation is activated. Clear guys till this point? It is more on the understanding, and believe me, this is a consulting, not development till now. Abhi to consulting it's going on. Clear everybody? Any doubt, any question? Okay, good. Now, if answer is yes in all these 5, then domain separation is activated. Okay, and now let me come here to my instance. So what I did, I activated the domain separation instance, and now if you see, we have a one more action here. See, domain scope. Domain and application scope both are the two different concepts, guys. Don't be confused. Now, if I show you that how the structure is given by ServiceNow, that because ServiceNow gives some structure. So this is what ServiceNow has a domain hierarchy. On the parent part, we have a top domain. This is a default one. If I show you in the instance, let me show you and click here. See, I have a top domain. The parent, the boss is the top domain. Two things you have to be remembered in this domain separation. One is the top and one is the default. Default means it's like a storeroom or bin in our house. Nobody is using, nobody want this item belong to nobody. Keep it in the dustbin or keep it in the storeroom. Like being a mother, being a father, we do. When our kid gets younger, from 2 to 6 to 8 to 9 to 10, there's a few toys which they don't play. And being a father, I say, okay, do you want to play with this? No. Let me put in the storeroom. Because it is good, but I don't want to destroy it. Let's put in the storeroom. There is a default one. Here the top means the boss. Top says the processes which has been written, which has been configured in the top domain. Like you four ladies took a flat, a shared house. In India we call it as a paying guest, but in this country I hear that this concept called a shared accommodation. Okay. So now let's say I am a landlord and I told you, guys, hot water will come from the morning 5 o'clock till the evening 10 o'clock. Everybody will get their own key to enter into the house. It's a responsibility for everybody who is coming or going from the house. They have to be locked the gate. There's only one common parking. You can park only a two-wheeler. If there's a smoking in or smoke, not the cook food smoke. If you do the smoking, cigarettes and all, it is completely banned. If any complaint, anybody raise the complaint, you have to face the problem for the same. That is the top processes, which is applicable for everybody. Which is applicable for everybody. Now, this is you guys, Ima, Dipsy, Ugo, and MJ. Now, in your room, you clean the house or not, that doesn't matter to me. Sorry, to you clean your room or not, it doesn't matter to me as a landlord. But you have to follow the my process. That whenever you go out, you should lock your room. Because I put on the high level, it is applicable for the room level discussions as well. Guys, I put one top level process. Don't waste the energy or electricity. This is not applicable for the living room. This is applicable for the your individual rooms as well. When it is not required, please switch off the lights, switch off the fan, switch off the air conditioner. These are these part. So in the domain separation, the main concept, main workflow, main flow, main process written on the top domain. And if anybody come from here to here, they follow the same. So like if I say, I have a few qualities of my grandfather as well. It means I'm talking from my top level domain. My father has a few qualities of his grandfather. That is a top domain. Like if I take a normal simple example, our last name or our family name or our surname, it is not I am putting as a fancy word. No, I got that from my ancestors. My fathers, like that. Okay, and I'm using the same surname because that I'm getting from the top domain. Until unless I change my religion, until unless I change my surname properly with the proper notification, I still use the family name which is given by my family, my parents, my grandfather, my ancestors. This is what we're saying here. So if you define anything here applicable here as well. But in this, we just define the processes. We just define the configuration, not the data. Data on the individual level. In room number 1, Dipsy is staying. In room number 2, Ema is staying. In room number 3, MJ is staying. In the room number 4, Ugo is staying. What I'm giving to you. Now maybe Dipsy or maybe Ema has a lot of money. So she has 3 iPhone, 2 big laptops, 1 personal TV, 1 big table fan or the rolling fan, 1 big wardrobe. She can put it. That is the data. So she can put in her domain. She can put anything in the room. She love the singing. She can put a lot of posters in the room as well. So this is the concept of this top domain and the child domains here. So now you can see. This is the concept. Okay. This is the concept, and I personally recommend today's homework. You guys need to understand this part. Read this documentation. Easy to read. Okay. Now the last point. Then I'll go for a little bit practical, and we close this topic. Not more. We have to go. The point is that let's say Dipsy, Ema, MJ, and Ugo. They are staying in a shared accommodation. Every day they're interacting in the kitchen, they're having lunch together, they're having breakfast together, they're going for the parties or the weekends. Fine. Now they are the good friends. After 1 month, they become a very good friend. But still the problem is there. They are the good friend. But till now, Ema did not allow Dipsy, MJ, and Ugo. Guys, you can come in my room without knocking as well at any point of time. There's still restrictions are there. We are good friends. You can call me sir, but we are not as much good friends that you call me, hey Atul, how are you doing? Instead of calling me sir. This restriction is still there. And this concept is called the domain visibility. Until unless Ema will add Dipsy, MJ, and Ugo in her domain separated group, these 3 cannot see the data or enter the room of the Ema. Maybe Dipsy and Ema are the good friends. Very, very, very good friends. And in the 2 days, Dipsy told to Ema, hey Ema, if you need anything, if you're feeling bored, you can come in my room and we can gossip together. No need to be no, just come directly. Why and how? Because now Dipsy is adding Ema in the visibility, that Ema can enter in my room and she can see anything in my room. Ema also say the same thing. Dipsy, you are my best friend now. So you can come in my room, you can use my laptop and all the things. You can see my data. This is the concept of the visibility of the domains here. Now what we will do, we will create one domain and I will show you. Okay. Till this point, everybody okay. Understand? Any doubt, any clarification? No reaction. Every action has a reaction, but no reaction. Good. Let's proceed here. Now I'm going to create a domain. Okay. So I'll go in the domain admin and click on the domains here. Sometimes I really get confused in this topic, in this specifically in this area. Okay. So now I'm going to create a new domain here. Let's say I'm onboarding Ema's company. Okay. Let's say I'm onboarding Ema's company. Take a minute. Okay, so now Ema is running her own company, right? Okay, so now I will, first of all, what I have to do, I have to be onboard Ema as a company first of all. So let's say I'm going here and creating a company. Okay. It says companies here. Okay. Let me say I'm onboarding Ema as a company first. So I say Ema's LNG. You can put like Ema's LNG phone number, fax number. It is a customer. I can say yes or no, or you can remove it. It is nothing. It is just a flag. Anything you can put it here, guys, and click on the submit. The basic login has been done. The basic entry has been done. That before I create a domain, let me create the company first. Now your domain name can be same as the company name as well. Now I go here and search for the domain. Okay. Now I click on the new and let's say I want to create a email. What type? It's a MSP, customer or vendor. There's a nothing difference in these three. Okay, means practically if I say there's a no filtration I'm putting on the top of that. So I can put anything. I say it's a customer. It's a primary domain. Yes. Primary means let's say there's a company who has a child companies as well. So in that case, we create the parent company domain. Okay. So I say, no, let's not make it as a primary. Let it be a normal one. And what is the parent of this one? Every domain, every new domain should be the parent of the child of the top domain only, so that it can fetch the inbuilt processes from the top. Remember this concept. So every domain which you create is a have a child parent as a top domain. Okay. Now I'll come here and click on the submit. Domain has been created. Domain has been created. Now let's see Ema's domain. Now let me link Ema domain with the Ema company. Now let me add a company. Sorry, I need to be created again. Kya? Let me go to the company here. And let me map the company with the domain. They don't have any concept called the domain here. Okay, let's do one thing then. No problem. There's a no edit button here. Logically, it should be have an edit button as well. So let me put a new company. Let's create a new companies. Okay, let's put LNG. Okay, it is a manufacturer vendor. It's a customer for me. Okay. Parent, no need to put domain. It's a top Ema domain. Okay. I click on the submit here. Okay. Go here. Sometime when we reload the page, it take the previous page as well. So now here. So I have a company called the LNG here. Now what will happen? So like if I say that this is my house and I onboarded Ema, Dipsy, Ugo, and MJ in my house. These 4 companies are under my domain, my house domain. Okay. Now the problem is that let's create a user. Okay, because how you can see that a instance has a domain separated or not? User entry is the basic place for the same. If you remember in the beginning of our class, when we started this user management and all the things, there was a no field available on the, what I can say, user user form that indicate the company. Let me do one thing. Let me bring a new field called the company here, because every employee belong to one company, and only then. Now, if I say why, what is the meaning of the company? If I pick up this example, these two, this is Ema, this is Ugo. They both belong to one company. Only then I can allow them to do some, until I will not rent it out the flat to them. They cannot enter into my flat, right? It means if I as an employee, so what is the purpose of this particular thing is that if I want to work and or I say I'm working in LNG as a company, then I must have that company tag on my name. Remember the CSM concept. When Saba called to the insurance agent asked, what is your organization, sir? He says, I'm working for Apple Technologies. How they identify? Why the Apple they identify that, okay, Saba is Apple employee. It means Saba has access for that particular domain. Okay. What happened? Did we do something wrong here? Maybe taking time. Okay. One more thing which is important from the consulting perspective. Now it's getting confusing for you guys. Don't worry. Let it be confusing for everybody. If there's no confusion, then why we'll be learning service now? Let me add the company here. And click on the save. Oh, I want to be add one more thing. Add domain also we need to be add. Let me add one more option. I forget domain so that I can show you that why I'm telling you. Is anybody here the concept called the shared resources? Anybody hear this concept? What do you mean by the shared resources? Are you working in your company as a shared resources or not? Shared resource, if I talk from the practical or the IT perspective, when one employee is supporting multiple customers. Let me add these two fields as a domain and domain path. Oh. Okay, so shared resources means when an employee work or support multiple projects in a company. So let's say I'm working in a company X and I'm supporting my client Y, A, B, and C. So for a company, I am a shared resource. because I'm providing my services to the multiple companies, multiple clients. So now let's say I'm creating a user here. Ima, Dipsy, Ugo, and Gloria. Okay. And UG. Now adding the company field on the user form has the intention, so that my system should understand who can see the data for that particular room. So now if I take this example, let's say if tomorrow, let's say Ima shifted to the new shared accommodation, and if tomorrow Ima sister or mother come and meet her, then they can enter in the house without any issue. But they need a access. If they reach at the society gate and they will say, hey, my daughter Ima is staying here, then security guard will ask, can you give me a proof? Or can you show me your ID card? Ima's sister or mother show the ID card and guard say, yes, ma'am, you can go second floor, right side. They are staying. It means they have to prove the identity. So now in this here, I put Ima's company. Or maybe I can say Ima LNG only, which is what we created. But the domain can be, where's the domain gone? The domain should be, come on, why there's no domain I'm able to see? Then I have to be changed. Okay, one more thing, guys. I'm not able to find out the domain as a that here I can say. Otherwise, it have a field called the domain where I can fit the domain as well. So what practically we do, whenever you want to create any user, better you change the domain from top here. Okay, it's not showing any domain key as of now. Let me reload this page. What I'm doing, before I create any user, I want to make sure that I'm in the right domain. Now I can see. Domain means before Ima told to her mother or sister that, hey, I'm staying at this address, and she told, mom, if you want to come, you have to be tell that I am Ima's mother. She's studying in this class and she's staying in this particular place. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to create a user edug companies LNG and click on the save. What this mean and this mean? Now this user only and only access this domain, not any other domain. So I click on the submit here. This is little complicated, but this is what has been defined in service. Now that is the reason domain separation is easy to consult, but tough to implement. It will increase the overhead for the admins. Now creating 100 users in a separate domain, 20 users in a separate domain, 20 users in a separate domain. That is a time taking stuff. Not sure why it's been taking a lot of time today. UG. Okay, now you can see here, right? Now, what the next point? If you create the user in this domain, it means one thing is verified that this user should not able to access or not able to see any other data. Okay. Now, what is the next point come here? Okay. How I will make sure that Ima and Ugo are the good friends now, and they both can go in anybody room at any point of time. then they have to make a changes on the domain level. Okay, so now if you want to make a change on the on the user level, let's say I'm a shared resource. I'm mixing a lot of examples. Don't worry, I'm mixing a lot of examples so that you understand the different use case of the domain separation. That is important here. Let's say I'm a shared resource and I should able to see only few domains, not every domain. If you want that I should able to see every data, every domain data, then you have to be create my user account in the global domain. This one, what they're saying. A record with no domain is a global until the record assigned to a particular domain. All records created before domain separation activity have no domain. User in every domain can see the global data. Now, not put any domain here. Let's say when I was creating this user and I did not change the domain, I put the global domain, then I can see anybody data. That is a high risk. Like I am a landlord, I can enter anybody anybody room. But yes, before that I have to take the permission. This is what the global says here. So never ever create, or I say only the shared resources must credit in the global domain. Like survey desk agent, they are supporting 100 of customers. Then we create the user ID in the global domain instead of the specific domain. But now let's say EDUG is a user for me and they're supporting only 2 customers. One is they're supporting LNG and second they're supporting maybe Cisco. So I can go here and give them a visibility for the EMAS domain. Okay, they're just supporting EMAS only because I created this user in the EMA domain only. So they can see only EMAS data. Come on, what I'm doing. Okay, this is a user level visibility, a very important concept. It is a user level visibility. Now I'm going on the domain level visibility. EMA and DeepSea become a very good friend. Now they want to share the data with each other. So let's go to the domain. And here contains and contained by. These two topics, these two concepts and our topic will be done. I'll not go more than that. Otherwise, the base you which is ready now, you're getting confused here. Let's see contain and contained by domain scope. Domain visibility, this one. Yes, these two concepts. Contains domain and the visibility domain. This is the contains domain. Visibility domain on the user level, not at the domain level. Remember what it says, allow an entire domain to access other domain in a different hierarchy. EMA and Ugo become a good friend and now they says you can enter into my house at any point of time. Why there's a no domain showing? Because I'm in the EMA's domain. Let me go to the top domain so that I can see every other domain available for me to be selection. Well, still not showing none. So let me go to the global domain then. And now I click on the edit. Sorry, contains domain. Oops, why it's showing as a 0? Come on. maybe something wrong with it, because I always get confused with this topic. I try to be clear, but not able to get that much clarity here. Okay, so in the contains domains, what we do in the EMA domain, I put any other domain. So let's say if I create a new domain, let try to create a new domain. Good, you are getting confused. I'm happy. You must confuse. Let's say I create Dipsy domain. Okay. It is also under the top. Submit. Now I'll go here and click on the edit. And let me change to the top domain. Come on. It's not saving as well. See, Dipsy is not created. That is the problem. Why it's not be getting created. It's showing Dipsy's already exists, but I'm not able to see the Dipsy's name here. Maybe guys some issue with my instance now. So in the contains domain, you can add any other domain in this area, which saying that now that particular domain can access, sorry, you can access that particular domain. And if you are doing the contains domain, by default, all the users who are be getting created will not get access. You have to be give the visibility a specific one. Like if I say I'm a landlord, Dipsy, Ugo, MJ, and Ema staying in the 4 rooms. Ema told me, Atul, if you want to come, you have to give me a call before you coming. Don't come surprised to be here. If I say, okay, I'm not coming, my wife will come, then I have access to go anytime. But if I say my wife can visit, then she has to follow the visibility part. I have to give the visibility to my wife to all the domains so that she can go at any point of time and she can check it. This is contains domain, and contained by is the reverse. Who is giving you the rights? Who is giving you the rights to see his or her data? That is the contained domain. I guess it's in here. So like this is a contains part. One parent and other contains these things like this. And it is a many to many relationship, domain to domain relationship. Okay, so like this they're doing. Why it's not showing to me, I'm not sure. It's showing top, not showing to us. And visibility means who can see the data of my domain. It is a user to domain or group to domain. It is not domain to domain. It is user to group, user to domain. If I give rights, only then you can see the data. Otherwise, you cannot see the data here for the other part. Okay. So how the visibility work? If I have a access, so maybe I can try because it's not an ITIL user. Let try user admin and we created the EDUG, right? Let's try something. I'm trying, maybe I'm not sure that I'm able to do or not. Let me give ITL role. Okay, now let me impersonate with EDUG. Impersonate. I hope it will work. I hope it will work. Number one, if you see here, EDG domain is EMA. Now let's go and check for the incident. All. Okay, he's able to see because I have to be set some parameters. Visibility need to be set. Otherwise, what will happen if I logged in as a EDUG and I just have a visibility for the one domain? Then I can see only one domain data, not other domain data. This is a basic concept in the domain separation. Here the actual restrictions come, visibility come, that who can see my data, because every customer says I'm in the shared domain, that's fine. But Atul, how you can guarantee that other customer is not able to see my data? I'm not able to see the another data. So here this contained by visibility, these things play a vital role. There is a place where consultant need to do a careful consulting to make sure that he understand who need access and when. Is it a group level access? It is a domain level access. It is a user level access. That is the thing. Okay. So this is an exercise as well. If you want to do, you can do the exercise easily. Try to do this exercise. You will be able to understand a lot of things. Okay. Now let me come here. Everybody clear? Any doubt, any question, any clarification, guys? Interesting topic, right? Either say yes, no. Priya, Akanksha, Saba, Ima, Dipsy, Gloria, Olu, Ugo. Okay, good. So with this, the basic overview of the domain separation has been completed. Now I'll pick up a small topic. And this topic is a separate module in ServiceNow. And I must say that nowadays this is in the demand. This is called the GRC, even though this has been renamed now IRM. GRC stands for the governance, risk, and compliance, which has been renamed by the IRM, Integrated Risk Management. Now what we did, we done IT onboarding, we done customer onboarding, we done HR onboarding, HR stuff, we done this update set movements, we done today on the domain separation. But now tell me, when you go for a holiday, did you lock your house or not? We lock, right? Before we go to any place, holiday, some market, we lock our house. Why? To avoid the risk. No unauthorized person should enter my house. In the same manner, in ServiceNow, we have to make sure that our customer should be follow the right practice and should able to save the or reduce the risk. You know what is the biggest risk nowadays for a company? Not the money loss, the reputation loss. Reputation loss is the biggest loss for a company now. Money they can still compensate. They can still do the cost cutting. But if once a name has gone, it's gone. Okay, so GRC is a concept which says governance, risk and compliance. That how to govern, how to run your processes, what risk you have and how to mitigate that risk. And compliance, make sure that I met the standards. If you purchase any bakery item, any food item, on the box, on the wrapper, it has been mentioned in India, it is a FASSI, or the Food Association, who says if your product is meeting these much criteria, only then we certified and you can sell that product in the market. That is a compliance part. Because company know if I did not meet the compliance, I have a huge risk. Monetary loss, reputation loss, or other loss. And to do this part, I have to put some governance on the place. It is again a very interesting topic, but not in depth. We'll go only 5-10 minutes session because this is more on the consulting, less on the development part. How many of you know about the standards available in market? ITL, COBIT, Prince2, ISO. In ISO we have multiple, right? Then I can say telecom standards, medical standards, food industry standards. Now what we have to do specifically, let's say my customer is a normal IT customer and they're providing the IT service to their customers. Okay, now they want to be 100% compliant on the standard part. Okay, so what they have to do, they have to put some restrictions. Like if I say, we told our kids, don't lie. If you're in a bad situation, you need help, don't lie. Just come to the father or mother and upfront tell. That is the governance we are doing. When they become little elder, when they're 2 or 3 years old, mother and father teach, guys, have a good food, chew the food, take the food as much you required. When they become 6-7 year old, they start going to school. Don't lie, don't fight, don't cheat, don't steal. When they become a little more older, near about 10, 11, 12 year olds, then we say, don't fall in the wrong company, don't go for the drugs and all the things. When they become a little more older, 17, 18 years old, we teach them, don't involve in any kind of a sexual activities kind of stuff. These are the governance we are doing. Why? Because we have a risk in our mind. If we did not govern our child in a manner, they can be spoil their life. They can become the bad person. They can be a blot on the society. They can lose their credibility. They can lose their respect. These are the risks. And to do that part, we have a compliance on the place. When they older, 2-3 year older, you take them in the restaurant and you want to check that is my child is wasting the food or not. You say, okay, daughter or son, you can put the food as much we required. And you're noticing that the food which he or she took, is she able to complete or not. When they become a little more older, you go and check with them. Maybe you say, hey, there's ₹100 lying or $100 lying on the floor. If he pick up and keep it in the pocket, it means the governance which you put is not compliant at point of time, because you teach them don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, but they're not compliant on that part. Okay, so now in ServiceNow, there's a separate module available that is called the risk GRC, governance, risk and compliance. So we are going to be discussed a little bit on that front. Let me end impersonation here and come here. Okay, now the thing is that Atul, it is new topic, but how we can say. So let's say if I am a IT provider, IT service provider company, I'm not bothered about any other standard. Why should I worry about the network standards? Why should I worry about the food standards? Why should I worry about the, what I can say, for medical standards? Because I'm an IT company, I should worry that my IT processes should have a proper documentation on the place. This is a policy I have to be create. Let me show you one screenshot, and that screenshot will sum up all the things in the picture. Then we can close the call. No problem. I'm looking for one important point. Yes, this is what completely clean the topic or clear the topic, I must say. Okay, so what they say is that every company must have some authority document. See, I tell to my son, don't lie, don't cheat. From where I get this information? I get it from my parents. My parents get this information from where? They get it from their parents. From where their parents get this information? They get from their parents. In short, if I say, Atul, it means these are the good sayings, good habits are written in our religious book. Epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita, these things has been written. That is called the authority document. That those are the right place to take a decision. I don't want to be go in any kind of religion or religious concepts, but like for Hindus, Gita is one of the book which we consider as a truth of source. In Islam, we have another book. I'm sure that I forget that book name. I guess you call it as a in Christian it's a Bible. Quran, I'm saying, sorry, Quran. So Quran is one of the authority document for you. If as a human I stuck in my life, I go and read the Quran and I get my answers automatically. That is the authority document. On the basis of the authority document, I pick up my policies. I'm a married man. I cannot follow the principles which is written in the authority document who belong to the bachelor. So I have to be prepare my standards. I have to be read my standards. I have to be take my standards which belong to the married man only. So I pick up the things from here which belong to me as per my understanding, as per my requirement. That has become my policy standards. Okay, if I'm a bachelor, then from this document, I'll just take the bachelor standards. That being a bachelor, what is my responsibilities in the society as a human being? Okay, then from here policy, I have a policy exceptions. These are my standards. On the basis of standards, I'll prepare my policy. Let's say, as per the religious book, if you are married with one girl, you should not marry to the other girl. And to follow that policy, to follow that standard, I have a policy here. And I put, if I get married once in my life, I'm done with the ritual. Now I have no authority, or I will not marry some other girl. This is the policy I have to make it. The reason, the purpose I'm telling you in this example is that so that you can understand that from this, if this document contains 100 lines, I'm just picking the 5 lines. And how to implement the 5 lines, I have a 10 policies on the top of that. Don't lie. It is a standard written in the authority document. I pick up that standard here. Now, how I make sure my kid, my daughter, my son should not lie. I have to put up policies. Number 1 policy, if you are alone in somewhere and stuck and you need our help, don't make excuses. That is number 1 policy. If you're playing with someone and by mistake you hit the other person and there's something wrong happened with that person, don't lie. Tell me the accurate that what happened. So I'm making the policies on the place. And every policy have a policy control on the place. I know my son is a 6-year-old. He's staying with me. By seeing his behavior, I can attest it that in any of the situation, he will always help to the other person first and then do his own work. This is the attestation I am doing. I'm doing the risk assessment because in the parallel, the audit is going on. As a human being, everybody is judging me from his own eyes. That what type of person Atul is. No, he's a very bad person. No, he's not a reliable person. No, he's not a good person. Someone say, no, it's a good person as well. You are doing the auditing on my name. Okay, so this is what we have a concept here of the GRC. The main thing which is be required if you want to be read about this GRC as a concept, read about this article. A basic article will be helpful for you. Okay, it is very interesting topic. It is a place where you can make your career if you want to make it. Okay. Because in this area, in this the GRC, the biggest point is that more than service now, you should know the documentation framework. Okay. That is the thing. So I'll not do any more deep dive here because otherwise what we learn today is going to be overhead. So, but now you get an idea from your preparation perspective, into perspective. Yes, you know little bit about the GRC. You should know that what is UCF or the authority document, policies, control and risk. That is more than enough in the beginning of this particular topic for us. Now, anybody has any question, any clarification? Okay. No question. Let me stop the recording here, guys, and we'll take a quick attendance now.